Have you ever noticed how you're clicking on fewer websites lately? There's a hidden reason why, and it's part of a massive shift that's already changing the internet forever. In this video, I'm going to reveal how AI is silently doing away with websites entirely, and why this pattern is going to accelerate dramatically in 2024. I'm Evan Goldstein. I'm a licensed professional engineer and a data scientist, and I'm making AI Capitalist to help leaders like you surf smoothly into the clickless future. The web is changing into the zero-click internet, and it's going to change everything about how you do everything online. Zero-click internet means that you'll no longer click on links to find the content you want. In fact, much of the internet already works this way. Platforms like Facebook and Twitter have stopped promoting posts with links a few years ago, and this has forced users on those platforms to post content directly there instead of directing followers to external sites. And now with generative AI in the mix, platforms are even more incentivized to surface content directly, whether it's pulled from their databases or created by AI. This phenomenon isn't entirely new. It began when Google started answering simple queries directly on its search results page. But it's escalated significantly with the rise of AI chatbots and information recommendation algorithms. Google is now aggressively scraping content from websites and displaying it directly in search results. What few search results remain are buried so far down the page that almost no one sees or clicks on them anymore. And Google's plan is to bury them even further in the coming months. And that's what a zero-click internet means. It means an end to users visiting websites entirely. Instead, you're going to spend all your time on a small handful of platforms and apps like Google or TikTok, and you're never going to leave them. The impact that this is going to have not just on your experience, but on the world is going to be massive. It means an end to digital publishers. Small ones at first. Most of those are going to be out of business by the end of this year. The medium ones are going to vanish, and then most of the rest will be gone. Eventually, most of the big publishers are going to go under, and those that do survive are going to do so by signing contracts with platforms like Google or OpenAI, which is ChatGPT, to create content specifically for those services to scrape. Domain names are no longer going to have value since visiting websites isn't going to be a significant portion of most internet traffic. And this is going to spell the end for most domain registrars like GoDaddy and other companies whose entire business model revolves around selling domains. The web hosting business is going to contract as the number of websites in existence shrinks, and the number of resources needed to run the remaining ones decreases. The independent internet advertising businesses are also in trouble. All advertising is going to be controlled by the major platforms like Google and Meta or Facebook and Amazon, and these companies already account for 60% of online ad spend. As a case in point, Google and TikTok already don't buy ads from independent networks like Raptive or Playwire, which sell ads on medium-sized websites, because they do it themselves. As publishers vanish, these networks are going to have no websites to sell ads on, which means they're going to have to find a whole new business model, and that represents a huge risk on their valuation. And if you think that you're getting value from this episode, please click the like button. That lets me know that I'm making content you want to see and help spread it to others. Thanks for your support. So the SEO industry is also in trouble. SEO becomes meaningless when there are no clicks. Currently, SEO firms can survive the death of digital publishing by focusing on local or niche SEO, but even those areas are going to eventually be absorbed into the zero-click environment. And that environment is largely driven by who will pay top dollar at the top of the platform's results. Facebook, Google, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, and then who's willing to do all their business on that platform. Visibility, much like content, will be determined by contracts, and it's going to render SEO irrelevant. But what's going to take its place is likely going to be AIEO. As AI's cognitive abilities increase, it's going to be able to better and better parse the grammar and writing and get a more accurate read of the actual content itself. Keywords are going to be a thing of the past. Each of these industries I've mentioned are multi-billion-dollar industries, and none of them are going to exist as a significant business by the end of the decade. As for users, their information is going to vanish. You will only be able to find information that someone has paid to allow you to find. The zero-click internet is going to limit you to the kind of surface-level information you'd once find in a good set of encyclopedias. And the deeper resources you might once have turned to will no longer exist, except maybe as fragmented remnants in the mind of an unreliable large language model. It's the end of how things are and a shift into something else. Whether this is good or bad in the long run, we'll see. But in the short term, we're going to witness upheaval on a scale few are prepared to handle.